This is John Stegner and Brian Leonards with New Hour Realty, and we're here today with some of the folks that made the SPIRE building here in Denver possible. With any neighborhood or building, you always need a great developer and a great designer or architect to put something like this together. We have with us Chris Crosby with the Nichols Partnership, and the Nichols Partnership since 1993 has put out about 1.5 million square feet of commercial space and over 1,000 units here in Denver. So here at New Hour Realty, we've had the pleasure of selling about 5% of the total sales here at the SPIRE building. So we've been on lots of tours. We've been here since the beginning when there was just talk of the building, and then now we've got folks enjoying the building and running around and taking advantage of all the amenities. So first, we'll just have an open-ended question for you guys. How are things going now the building's open? How are owners enjoying living here?
Well, thanks, and really appreciate the time with you guys this morning. I appreciate the support of SPIRE throughout the process. It's great. Actually, we've started move-ins on April 19th, and I think seeing lights on in the building and seeing people enjoying the amenity spaces has just been so encouraging and exciting. And so I guess in the last couple weeks, we've had like 78 people, close escrow and be able to move into their home. And there's a good number of homes that are in process right now that will be closing over the next couple of weeks, and it's just exciting to see this building. It's just an amazing amalgamation of amenities and thoughtful design come to life.
Yeah, and as far as the design front, what are you most proud of about the SPIRE?
Well, I think an opportunity like this for an architect comes once in a lifetime. To work with the caliber of folks like Nichols Partnership and Chris and Randy, to be able to sort of contribute to a great skyline like Denver. Mm-hmm. And Chris had a terrific opportunity here with this site because of the view plane. We're not going to have any buildings built along the southern and western edges. So to have sort of an uninterrupted view, as well as, again, a building that's 470 feet tall, really a terrific opportunity to sort of frame an edge of downtown. That, I think, create an attainable, sustainable dwelling and a real destination in the city. To us, buildings are best when they're used. And again, it's thrilling to see lights on at night.
Yeah, the SPIRE, honestly, being up and the penthouses are up here on one of the amenity levels, the views are unparalleled in the city. I've been in a lot of loft and condo buildings, and I can testify to that. If you haven't been here, you got to come check it out.
And it really doesn't matter what floor you're on. The views, it's a good view no matter where you're at, what price point you're at, and it just gets better, I guess, as you go up in the building.
So here's a question. How long is it going to be before you see another building like this grace the Denver skyline?
Well, it was 5.5 years ago, I think, when we started working on this project, and called Doug, and we started doing site selection. We're looking at different parcels in downtown Denver, and I can tell you that putting together a project of this magnitude is a huge undertaking, going through entitlement process and going through all the design phases of a project. So it's a challenging marketplace, a capital marketplace, to put together financing for a project of this scale. In addition, obviously, there's lots of hurdles you have to overcome. So you're not going to see a SPIRE anytime soon. And as I said, 5.5 years ago is when we actually set forth to build this project. I do think that SPIRE is on the leading edge of a trend, and that the trend being that highly amenitized urban projects with walkable features and great neighborhoods around it, is definitely they're going to be attractive projects in the future. I think that SPIRE is extremely unique in that we're able to achieve a LEED standard on this project, and leadership in energy and environmental design is a trend that is going to continue. We're very fortunate that this project is only, I think, less than 0.5% actually of projects of this scale have been able to achieve a LEED status nationwide, and so that's a huge feather in our cap, and we're very proud of that, because being at the nexus of attainability and sustainability, I think, is really what the future holds for us in highly dense urban projects.
Yeah, the LEED factor, we've seen it in small scale projects here and there in Denver, but hadn't seen anything like this on a project of this scale. You tied into like the Denver steam
Yeah.
system was part of that, being able to do that, and that's part of what's helped, my understanding, keep some of the HOAs low. When we look at the other buildings in town, I mean, the HOA structure here, as far as the fees and everything, owners get a lot more, when they live here for their money. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, and I think that it really goes back to what we did with our contractor and our design team, is that we actually received subcontractor input at the early phases of this project, and everything from initial cost to life cycle costs, where we studied everything. We wanted to make sure that we designed a building as efficiently as possible, and that doesn't mean you cut corners. It means that you engineer it effectively on paper so the construction team can build it effectively. But what we were able to do is build a lot of value into this building, just in an operational perspective, and make sure that the building was designed to optimize the energy efficiencies that we could achieve on this building, to the structural elements. I think when you come to SPIRE, you'll see amazing amenity spaces and see amazing floor plans, because we worked really hard on the structural side to make sure that we designed a building where we didn't waste a ton of concrete or steel, that we had peer reviews done with our structural team, with firms from Vancouver, British Columbia, and other experts were all brought in early on in this project, I think, to deliver the best value for our home buyers.
Yeah, I mean, all the science works as far as we're concerned. I mean, we walk people through the building, they have all sorts of other options. We're not showing just the SPIRE, and yet a huge percentage of our clients currently are selecting to live here.
And if you look at what's on the market right now as far as new build properties, this is definitely, as far as price per square foot and otherwise, one of the cheapest projects out there, either existing or otherwise. How were you able to achieve that? Is it because you've done this several times in the past, or what would you say is how we were able to make this such an affordable
Right.
living for everybody?
Well, I think when you construct a project, and it's one is the people and the teams that you basically align with, and we had an amazing general contractor on this project, J.E. Dunn Construction, that had a tremendous expertise in building high-rise multifamily all across the country. In fact, they're probably one of the largest general contractors in North America for multifamily. And I think that they brought a ton of expertise to the table. R&L brought a ton of expertise to the table, and like I said, we sought out other experts that were going to be great at helping us pull this thing together. But and I'll tell you, I mean, it's no small task. You spend a ton of time on the front end to make sure that you've designed a building that achieves the end goal, which obviously attainability, sustainability, the two key adjectives. I also like to say it's sophisticated and smart as well. I mean, it's a very it's a very unique living opportunity. But I think we really were able to achieve a meaningful savings was just on the front end, design it right. And so we looked all over North America. I'll give you an example. All over North America to see who was building the best high rises, and you have to look at an enclosure system, the window wall system, as kind of one of your key project costs and one of the key engineering requirements of a project, obviously. And we found who we thought was the best provider of window wall system, and we brought that system to this project, and it's the first one built in this marketplace, and actually one of a handful in North America, or actually in the United States. They've been very successful building buildings in Canada. But we were able to basically, I think, deliver a better product with the system that we were able to employ at SPIRE at a lower cost. And I think we just found ways to innovate as far as delivery and performance, and then ways to innovate as far as cost savings that allowed us to deliver a product that is, I think, head and shoulders above the competition.
It is right now. I mean, it's selling faster by far than any of the other buildings in Denver. In fact, I think that it's probably selling as fast as any high-rise structure in the States right now.
What percentage of the building is sold right now, Chris? Would you estimate?
It's probably in the mid 30% range at this point. We're getting in that range. We're having big months now. I mean, and I think